Shelby, you set a Big Sky Conference record in the pentathlon over the weekend with 4,183 points. What was working for you on Friday?
To be honest, it seemed like a lot of things were finally coming together. It's been a lot of work in progress. Big things finally paying off. I think I really set the tone with my hurdle race. It was a huge PR for me. Going into that race, I had some ideas of the time I wanted to run. Just kind of went into the blocks, ran my race, stayed in my lane, and I crossed the line. And I was like, yeah, that was a good race. That's going to be a good time. And I was waiting for my time to pop up, and when I saw the 8:57 and then it was altitude converted to 8:59, I was like, oh my gosh, let's go. This is awesome. So that really set the tone for the rest of the pentathlon. Just I had some big goals going in, and with that race, I knew those were that much more attainable. So it was a pretty good way to kick it off.
5 events in the pentathlon. You set a PR in all 5 of those events. You just talked about the hurdles. Did that one make you the proudest? And if not, which one did?
I would honestly say my shot put was probably my favorite moment of the pentathlon. I've been struggling a little bit this year. The past 2 meets, I haven't been throwing my best. I've been throwing well under my PRs. And after, a good high jump, I was walking over to shot put and I was like, today's the day. We're going 40 feet like it's happening. And my first 2 throws were right around my PR, just a couple centimeters under it. So I was like, okay, we're there. And on my 3rd throw, had my teammates and coaches there to help me out, got a little clap going, and came out of the ring, and it left my hands, and I knew right away that was it, and it landed past that 40-foot line, and I threw my hands up in the air, and I was pretty stoked about that one.
At what point in the day did you realize you had a shot at the record?
Going in, it was a goal of mine for sure going into that day. It's something I've been thinking about, honestly, ever since I came to MSU. It's been a goal of mine for sure. But after that hurdle race, I knew it was a good start, and I knew right there it was that much closer. And then after high jump, I knew I had a good mark after shot put. I think shot put was probably the one that really solidified it, but I definitely had that in the back of my mind all day, no doubt.
Your dad was an All-American for Bobcat track and field. He's enshrined in the Montana State Athletics Hall of Fame. What impact has he had on your own career?
Oh my gosh, he's had a huge impact on my career. Both my parents, I've always idolized them as athletes and as parents, obviously. But coming here to where my dad competed, he really understands track and field well. He was a coach for, a ton of years. And just to have him in my corner has been huge. Track is very mental. I'd say almost even more so mental than physical, and having a very strong mental game and knowing how to go out there and compete when you're maybe not having your best physical performance, how to stay on top of it mentally. He has really instilled a great mentality within me.
You mentioned your mom. She also was a superstar at University of Montana in basketball. So you have these 2 legendary athletes as parents. What's the best piece of advice they've given you when it comes to college sports?
I'd say the best piece of advice is the winner at the end of life is the person who has the least amount of regrets. So you want to make sure you approach every day with no regrets, leaving it all on the table. Whether it's a day where you can, make 10% progress, it's a day where you can maybe, tackle a lot of things no matter what. You just want to be progressing every day, and at the end of it, have the least amount of regrets as possible.